Hi, everybody, and welcome to tonight's NDSU Zoom Q&A session with a specific focus on getting involved. Going to college, you're going to be in the classroom, you're going to be studying for tests, you're going to be taking tests, you're going to be doing homework, turning in your homework, writing papers. Yeah, there's a lot of that stuff that's going on, but there is so many other things that you can do. There are Bison athletics, there's campus concerts and events, shows, academic clubs, sporting clubs. If you want to be part of an athletic club, there's a lot of other ways that you can get involved. And honestly, those are some of the most fun things that you can do when you're in college and specifically at NDSU. Quick disclaimer, we are recording this session so that we can post this online later on. So just keep that in mind when you ask questions. Feel free to ask questions by sharing your screen, or not sharing your screen, but just asking them out loud, or you can type them into the chat and then I can ask the questions for you. My name is Corey Schlack. I'm an admission counselor here at NDSU, and just a very brief overview of what that means. Admission counselors and the admission staff are here to help you out because, to be honest, the admission process and working towards enrollment can be really confusing. It's not always so much just the getting admitted part, it's applying for financial aid. It's applying for scholarships. It's understanding your financial aid and understanding your scholarships. It's applying for housing and picking your roommates and picking your residence halls. All of those things become very confusing. So your admission counselor and your admission staff are really here to help you through all of those processes. We're kind of similar to a high school counselor, but instead of being related to high school, we're focusing on the college aspects. Okay, so without further ado, let's get back into the meat of what this session is supposed to be about: getting involved in college, getting involved at NDSU. And we have 3 of our current students here with us. However, one student is having some internet issues, so we'll see if Brooke is able to answer questions or not. Otherwise, we still have 2 lovely students who are going to be able to help us out answering some questions. So to get us started, I'd like you just to start by saying your name. We can read it, but let's hear it. And then what your major is, where you're from, where you are at in the program as well, like how far you are along. So what your name is, your major, where you're from, and if you're senior, junior, sophomore. So Martina, why don't we start with you?
All right, so my name is Martina, but I usually just go by Tina. I am a senior in the Industrial Engineering and Management program, and I have a minor in Logistics Management. I'm very excited to graduate in the spring, but I'm going right into grad school, so I'm not really leaving school. I'm from Two Harbors, Minnesota, so north of Duluth, if you don't know where that is, but that is me.
So, Tina, before we even move on, just out of curiosity, your major and your minor area,
yeah,
is that what you intended to come for? Is that what you thought you were coming to NDSU for, or is that something you found along the way?
I came in as undecided engineering.
Okay.
And then I went with industrial because they make you take a basic what is each type of engineering class.
Yep.
And you decide from there. And I really liked industrial. And then I added the minor on last year because I only needed to take 3 extra classes, and it has to do with what I'm learning anyways.
Yeah.
But now I'm going to go into student affairs and higher education.
That's right. That's my jam.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
clear though, for anybody who's interested in engineering, who is either here with us currently or watching this review later on, you could start in general engineering and navigate after that.
Yeah, and you can switch engineerings too. I know plenty of people who started in computer, ended up in mechanical, started mechanical, ended up industrial. They're all over the place.
Yep. All right. Yeah, that's really good to know. Awesome. Okay. Melinda, let's go on to you.
Hi, I'm Melinda. I'm a sophomore here at NDSU. I am in the interior design program with a minor in business administration, and I'm originally from Pierre, South Dakota.
Very neat. So Melinda, you're in your 2nd year. So are you in the 1st year of the professional interior design program?
Yeah, 1st year in the actual program.
Very neat. Cool. And Brooke, it looks like your internet might be working. So let's see if it is. We'll put it to the test. Brooke, do you want to introduce yourself? Just say your name, your major, where you're from, if you're a freshman, sophomore, junior, senior,
Yeah, so I'm Brooke. I am currently double majoring in criminal justice and psychology with a minor in women and gender studies. That's only because of Jade Berg. So shout out to Jade.
We love Jade.
I'm from Malacca, Minnesota. Jade's great. I'm from Malacca, Minnesota, which is like kind of near St. Cloud. It's central. And then I transferred into NDSU, so I'm kind of like in my two different like major programs. So
Yeah.
awkwardly there.
Okay. Yeah, for sure. Well, thank you all. Brooke, I have an idea. What if you don't actually like show your face, just have your name? That might at least help your like speed up your internet side of things. We'll see if that works. If not, I don't know. It came through just fine though. I mean, you're doing good. Okay. So another question that I have.
Okay.
Another question I have, and we'll go at the top of the order again. But most of the time when students are getting involved in college or at NDSU, oftentimes a lot of that happens right in the first week, like right when you get there, maybe even in the first day, students are starting to get involved with others, meeting other people. I mean, I know that's what a lot of the excitement is, one, getting away from home and kind of moving out on your own, having a little independence, but also, meeting new people, trying new things. So I'm wondering if each of you could just share a little bit about what your first week on campus was like.
Yeah, so my first week on campus was definitely an experience. So I made the like 5.5 hour trip out with my mom. We unpacked, set up my room, everything. And they have the welcome week schedule is packed for you. So like as soon as you move in that afternoon, you've got stuff to do, you've got people to meet. There's various tours around campus, there's events, all sorts of fun stuff, but you also get to meet like the people you're going to be living with and just like others around campus. I was really lucky in the fact that my freshman year roommate is still one of my best friends. I see her every day. I absolutely adore her. And she was involved in the marching band. So I got to know her and a bunch of other marching band folk through her being involved in that. And that's kind of where my circle came from. But also the welcome week group that I was placed in. I just like connected with people there, and even if I don't talk to them still, I still see them around campus and like we nod heads at each other. So you get to see people really fast, you get to meet people really fast, and it can be really overwhelming, but it's very fun. You should participate.
Awesome. Tina, you mentioned something called a welcome week group. Can you explain a little bit more about what that is for some of the people that are watching that might not know exactly what that is?
Yes, absolutely. And I have like an unreasonable knowledge of it. So I work with residence life. So I see how the welcome week groups have changed since I started. So when I started in August of 2018, they were random groups from people all over campus. Like I had some people from every residence hall, some transfer students, like all over campus. And we had to meet in one location at certain times to go on tours together, to discuss certain campus activities, to eat together. But now they've changed it. So your welcome week group is your community that you're going to be living with in your residence hall. So I'm the assistant hall director for Reed Johnson and Weibel halls. And each side of a floor, just the way our floors were laid out, were the welcome week groups. And that way you can get to know the people you're going to be living with. So you can get to know their faces because you're going to be seeing each other all the time anyways. So you have people to go eat with, and you can just leave your doors open and make a little community.
One of the first ways students are going to get involved at NDSU is with their welcome week group, which is specifically made up and comprised of the people that you're living with. So you're really going to get to know the people that you're living with right away. Awesome. Cool. Melinda, how about you? I know, you're in your second year, so your first week of class at NDSU is not too long ago. So what was your experience like?
Oh, first week was definitely something. Got moved in. I remember it being really humid that week because why not make it harder on everybody? But yeah, I participated with Welcome Week. I got to know a lot of people in my dorm. I still like say hi to some of them when I see them around campus. But the big thing that like when I started making a lot more friends, I went to my hall social. We did root beer floats on the first Friday there, and I just chatted with some people. I made like my best friend on campus. We met there, and we're roommates this year. So it was really great. I really enjoyed it, and yeah.
Very neat, very neat. And your first year was fall of 2020, which.
Yeah,
Great.
it was that fun year.
Okay, Brooke, how about you? What was your first week like at NDSU?
It was interesting. I was a transfer student, so I didn't live on campus. So I didn't get to like go through all that fun stuff.
But that's okay because we actually probably
But I
have some
did go to a lot of the activities.
Awesome. Brooke, can you share a little bit more about that? Because we may have some transfer students who will watch this, and we may have some local, Fargo, Moorhead, West Fargo, Dilworth students who might be watching this who may choose to live at home with their family. So what are some different ways that, students who aren't living on campus can get involved?
Yeah, so I went to like all the different events. Like they have events specifically for transfer students too, which was a lot of fun. And I held down some of them this year on campus one day, just kind of go to a ton of things, kind of see where your like classes are. That's one of the things that I did one of my first days here. I went around campus, and then you can like talk to other students and stuff. They'll help you out. But yeah, and then we had like this big block party and stuff. So going there was a lot of fun, and a great way to kind of just meet new people and talk to them.
So pretty much just getting to campus, there's going to be enough activities where students could just kind of hop into anything. Also, walking around, getting to see where their classes are so that they don't feel like they're lost on their first day. Then a block party. Is that what I heard? Yeah. Very neat. Very neat. Okay, let's go into the next question here. NDSU has a student involvement expo every fall and every spring.
Yeah, we had a we did one this year, and I did work there. That was a lot of fun.
Brooke, you're cutting out right now. Let's put you on pause for a little bit here. Let's go let's go to Melinda here. Melinda, the Student Involvement Expo, can you explain a little bit about what that is and how students can get involved with that?
Yeah, so the Student Involvement Expo, the different clubs and activities on campus, they set up these booths around the union area usually, and you can go around and talk with some of the board members or just some of the members of each club, and they tell you, oh, this is kind of what we do. We meet around this time usually, and it's a really good way to just get an idea of the different clubs here on campus. It's how I figured out like what clubs I was thinking about joining and get a better idea of them.
Roughly, Melinda, how many tables or clubs do you think are at the Involvement Expo?
Ooh, a lot, I'm assuming. I know there's like over 300 like student groups on campus, so yeah. It's a lot.
Would you say 300 are at the Involvement Expo?
I'd say probably maybe half, at least.
Yeah. From my recollection and my times being at those Involvement Expos, yeah, I'd say probably about 150 as well.
Yeah.
How about Tina? What was your experience like? Maybe not like what it looks like, but have you ever had somebody try to get you to join their student organization at the Involvement Expo?
Oh yeah. So the Involvement Expo is always fun just to walk through anyways. Also, there's a lot of free stuff and that's really fun. But a lot of the tables don't let you grab the free things until they've given you the spiel that they've prepared. I did get a pretty neat little notebook that my cat took a bite out of from the Spectrum, which is our student newspaper. But I got a whole rundown on it first, and if I wasn't already involved in other stuff, I would have joined it. But it's definitely really fun. Some people might not engage with you as much because they're busy talking to someone else that they've already grabbed, but I mean, not physically grabbed, but like the attention has been grabbed. But it's definitely fun and high energy, but there's also candy everywhere and like notebooks and cool stuff.
So if somebody was to go to one of these involvement expos and they're getting recruited by one of these student organizations, how much of a commitment is it to actually just try it out?
That is a great question. So nothing's like, you don't sell your soul to anything. So like my first semester, I signed up for Society of Women Engineers and Engineers Without Borders. And I think there was one or two others in there, but that was 3 years ago. So I don't remember it as well. But I have continuously volunteered with SWE, which is the Society of Women Engineers, but the other ones, I went to a meeting or two and I was like, well, this one's just not for me. Not that it's a bad club, it just didn't work with my schedule or I wasn't able to juggle all of the things. It's okay to say no to stuff, but you can always sign up, go to that first meeting, go get some free pizza. Most of them have food at the first meeting, but you don't have to go again. They're not going to harass you to go again.
Yeah, so no hard feelings if you go and just check
Yeah.
it out and then like, never mind, I'm out of here.
Yep, like I'm still on the email list for several of them that I haven't gone to in 2 years, but that happens.
Yep.
They understand that it's college student life is busy, so if you can't go to something, that's fine.
Yep, that makes sense. Okay, very neat. All right, Melinda, how about you? What's it been like for you?
It's been good. Yeah, I was looking at a lot of clubs when I first went to the expo last year. The few off the top of my head, I remember I looked at like photography club. I kind of looked at like hall government a little bit. Ultimately, I ended up just joining one club, which was the board game club, just for pure like fun and turning off my brain for a little bit. Because that just worked best with my schedule since I had so much homework for my major.
All right, I know this is an impossible question to answer, but what is your favorite board game?
Ooh, that is an impossible question.
Okay, what are you most currently playing? I have to know.
We've been playing a lot of like social deception games.
Okay.
The most recent one we played was a card game called Coup, which you just like, you lie about what character card you have, and it's pretty fun.
I am the assassin. I know that game. I have it.
It's a great game, yeah.
Good game. Okay, let's get into some other questions here. And again, anybody who is here with us today, you can just hop in and ask some questions. Oh, it looks like we have one actually that just came in right now. Is the Student Expo more than once a year? So you get another opportunity to join?
Yeah, so the Student Expo, there's one every semester. And then as long, like you can, how do I phrase it? There's not like a hard deadline. For certain things like Greek life, there's going to be like that rush week and your certain deadlines for that. But your clubs and organizations, you can start going to in the middle of the semester. If you meet someone in the dining center and they're like, hey, you should come to this club, you're still welcome to go to that club. You don't have to meet them during the expo. It's open.
So to clarify, you don't have to join during the expo. The expo is just an opportunity for these student organizations to kind of get out front and center in front of students to kind of promote themselves, show you that we have a hack club for computer science, that you can learn about it, talk to somebody, and then consider joining really at whatever time.
Yep.
Okay. Very good. Very good. I noticed you mentioned Greek life. So that specifically is in reference to like fraternities and sororities on campus. What's your experience with fraternities, sororities? What is that like here at NDSU?
I personally am not in one just because I have too many other things going on. But the people I know, I've worked with quite a handful of residence assistants who have been in Greek life also, and they find it really rewarding. It's definitely like their second family. So there's always something to do. There's always something going on that's Greek life related, but I've heard really good things about it. I just am not part of it myself, so I can't go into detail.
Melinda, do you have any experience in that? If not, I have some information about it as well, but
Yeah, I don't have all that much experience. I've known a few people and I've seen like their flyers and like the blood drives that they do and the food pantry stuff.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
no personal experience.
Yeah. And so for any, prospective students or parents who are out there kind of interested in this, there are probably about 12 fraternities on campus. I think there's 4 or 5 sororities. Many of them have live-in options. So starting in your second year, you could start living at one of the sororities or fraternities. Many of the ones that do have live-in options actually even have a chef. So you could actually opt into a meal plan in a fraternity and sorority. And, just a high level overview of what a fraternity sorority is. It's basically a group of people that are coming together that share common goals, whether it's leadership or service or volunteerism. Maybe, it's a way to hold yourself to a higher academic standard because most of those have, a minimum of, maybe a 3.0 is what this fraternity is, or 3.25 is what this sorority is. So it's a way to kind of keep yourself honest and in check. So being that neither of you are in Greek life, what is your favorite student organization, that you're still a part of or that you've ever taken part of? Maybe Melinda, let's start with you.
It's like a close tie between the organizations I'm a part of. One of my favorites though is choir. I'm in one of the choirs on campus. It's just something that I was in high school, so it was really easy to make the transition from high school into college and just entering that. And everyone's like really friendly and close and they just help each other out. So I feel like it's a really nice community to be a part of.
So Melinda, just to be clear though, you're an interior design student. You have a minor in business, but you're still in choir. So you don't have to be a music student to be involved in choir?
Nope, not at all. In fact, I think in the choir that I'm in currently, there's only 2 or 3 music majors in a choir of about 50 people. So
Are you in Contamus?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, I was in that before. It's fun.
It's great,
Wow.
yeah.
That is awesome. And also it sounds like, you sound like a pretty busy student because you're in your first year of the professional program for interior design. You're also doing a minor for business. So it's not like you're, taking a sloughy year or semester. You still find time to do choir.
Yep, I make the time to do it because it really is just a nice break from all the academic stuff, and it's just get together with some people and sing a little bit, have a good time. So.
Yep, awesome, cool. Thanks for sharing that. And Tina, how about you?
So my personal plug, Res Life is really fun, but that's more like it's an organization, but it's more of a job. You can start out in like hall government, but I was an RA and I'm an AHD now, which is the assistant hall director, but clubs on campus, I am not part of it, but I adore both like the student activities office and campus attractions. They put on super fun events. Sometimes they just like give you free food when you walk through the union. They do movie nights. There's like bingo wingo tomorrow night. So it's bingo and wings and chicken wings, which is like, if you don't think bingo is fun, like you haven't been to NDSU bingo nights, it is a riot. They always have really good food and really good prizes. They also just do like other fun events, like they help put on like concerts and bring like comedians and magicians and hypnotists. So I think those organizations are super, super fun. I will support them till the cows come home.
Very awesome, very awesome. Okay, so we've talked about getting involved in your residence hall. We've talked about getting involved in fraternities, sororities. We've talked about getting involved in terms of like music, band. One area that we really haven't talked about, or 2 areas that come to mind that we haven't talked about so much. One is getting involved in sports, but then also getting involved in academic areas. I know, Tina, you talked about SWE, or Society of Women Engineers. But let's talk about both of those areas really quickly. First one, let's talk about like academic clubs. So, clubs that are specifically around your major, your future career. Can you talk about what those would be like and how they can help prepare you?
Yeah, so a little bit about SWE. So SWE has a bunch of different like functional areas. So there's outreach, which I really like the outreach part. So I help with like Lego robotics events and Girl Scout STEM days and like Mommy, Me and SWE kind of events where like these like girls from the community come and learn about STEM. I really enjoy that part, but there's also like networking and conferences and business aspects of it. So there's actually a SWE meeting happening right now, and there's someone, they often get people who used to be in SWE who are now like actual real life professionals who are living their like true adult life as an engineer now. And they come back and they speak, they talk about what they do in their companies. There's networking events where you can just meet people. They have like a resume building event, so you can go check out your resume, see if it looks all right, have other people read it over, because resumes are kind of difficult, and it definitely helps to have someone else look at it, because when you've been looking at it for an hour and a half, it looks the same. Like you don't catch all the little things. Yeah, but there's the academic organizations. There's one related to pretty much every single major on campus, and if it's not specifically named, it works with. So like Society of Women Engineers is also like the computer science students. So it's kind of a combination. And you don't technically have to be in that major to be in that club.
Yeah, so for instance, if you're in industrial engineering, but you had an interest in computer engineering, you could be in a computer engineering club, or Bison Robotics or something like that. Yeah, one of the things that I really like about the academic clubs is, well, really any student organization or club, but specifically with academic clubs, you're going to have members that are not just freshmen or sophomore, junior, senior. You're going to have the whole level. So making those connections really helps, gives you some foresight to, you know, what those upcoming classes are going to be like, or what the internship experience, you know, search process is going to be like, or when you know, talking about those resumes, cover letters that you were just talking about, getting those written and getting those sent out. Melinda, are you part of any academic organizations, or have you had interest in academic organizations that you might take part of in the future, since you're still just a second year?
Yeah, there is the American Society of Interior Designs, which is the academic group for my major. I haven't been able to make any of the meetings just due to scheduling conflicts. I'm hoping next semester I might be able to get in there, but I know people who are in it, and it's just a good place to connect with other older people in the program, get a good idea of what it is. They also bring in alumni who talk about their own projects. I know recently they just went on a field trip to check out a new building that just got finished and analyze the interior elements of it. So, yeah.
Awesome. Very cool. Okay, so our last area that we're going to cover then, and again, if anybody has questions, feel free to throw those out here. But last area that I want to cover is really sports, because we have a lot of students who in high school played sports. Maybe they were a 3-sport athlete, maybe they were a 1-sport athlete. And, you know, oftentimes sports was something that was very crucial to them in high school. When they go to college, you know, not everybody is going to play D1 athletics. You know, some might, but many others will not. What's a way for students to get involved if they still want to take part in sports?
There are club sports and intramurals, which is a word I have trouble saying, but we have a really, really nice wellness center. So even if you don't find yourself involved in like an intramural team, so that's through the wellness center. So if there's a group of you that want to play badminton, you can make your team and go play other schools in badminton. That's pretty fun. I know there's like a tennis club, but if you're not wanting to be in a specific sport or have like time commitment issues, there's still a really nice wellness center, and you can go be the athletic person that you want to be without being in that team if it doesn't work out for you. But there are plenty of opportunities to do that.
Yeah, awesome. Melinda, do you have anything to add in there?
Not really. I think she covered it pretty well.
Okay. So I'll throw in a couple of my things, because honestly, this is one of the areas that I was so passionate about when I was a student. I played on the rugby club. I had never played rugby in high school, but I found it in college and just loved it forever. So Intramural sports are quite a bit different than club sports. Intramural sports, you're playing against other NDSU students, or if you're at a different college, you're playing against other students from that college. Low commitment level, you probably never have a practice, show up and play your games. Yeah, you can sign up a team, or you can sign up as an individual, as like a free agent, and hop on a team that way. You know, there's basketball, there's soccer, there's dodgeball, there's volleyball, badminton, whatever you want, really. And then, you know, like Tina was saying, the wellness center, there's like 4 basketball courts, and there's always pickup basketball going at any point in time. So if you want to just go and play some pickup basketball, you can do that. Club sports, that's my jam. That's where I was at. That's where you're actually competing against other university clubs. So like the tennis club that Tina was talking about, they'll go and compete against other university tennis clubs. My rugby club would go and compete against the U of M, Duluth, UND, Mankato, Winona. And then you do have pathways to like regional, national tournaments as well. So like our lacrosse club has gone on to nationals and won a national title. Our soccer club has gone on to nationals. The rugby club's gone on to nationals. And so you're not just competing in this area. Sometimes you'll be competing out in Chicago, competing out in North Carolina, competing out in California or Colorado. So it's a really good way to continue doing the things that you really loved while you were in high school, finding a group that you can still bond with and still kind of share that common goal and get out and see other places in the United States. Okay, so we'll close it up here with one last thing. Since this was all focused on getting involved, what's your one piece of advice in 30 seconds or less on getting involved? Tina, let's start with you. What's your one piece of advice?
One piece of advice specifically for getting involved is just do it. I don't know. I'm normally highly introverted, shy. I don't want to interact with crowds, but I started forcing myself to, and it's actually been really fun. So just do it, or find someone else who will go with you and help you do it.
Yep, I love it. Yep, so often that's the case. You just have to get up and do it. And Melinda, what's your piece of advice?
Very similar, just like put yourself out there. Don't be afraid to try new things. Like you might find something that you love that you never even considered before. And this is a great place to really learn different things about yourself. So
awesome. Well, hey, Tina and Melinda, thank you so much for being here and giving us all your words of wisdom. Thanks for everybody that tuned in tonight. And just know that we have more sessions like this that are focused on different topics. So feel free to tune in on those later on. All right. Thanks again for tuning in and have a wonderful evening.
All right. Adios.